Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and welcome to the Game Exposed podcast. If you guys have a brief question on a narcissist and you want to submit it and have your question answered on the podcast, submit a brief question, you guys, no more than a paragraph because it won't be read. Text your questions to 917-636-1109 and text me your questions, and I'll try to get to as many questions as I can and answer them on the podcast, but please make it brief, no more than a paragraph, okay? 917-636-1109. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about and answer listeners' question. So let me start with the first one. They write, "Hi Yaz, me and my ex-narc haven't spoken in 4 months after I contacted the new supply. The other day, he went to my sister's work establishment. She ignored him. Once she was isolated, he approached her asking, 'How is your sister?' Why is this? We have been silent with each other on both ends since February. Well, he's going to your people to try to find out what's going on with you. He wants to know if you're doing well, you're not doing well. Narcissists always want to keep tabs on their exes. They want to know that you're not doing well, or they would rather hear that you're not doing well. Why? Because then this way they feel they can come and reach out to you, all right? So he's feeling out the situation. He doesn't want to contact you directly, all right? But what he does want is some information. Narcissists, like I said, are very, very nosy. That's why you never want to be friends with a narcissist after you break up with them, because that way they're going to know your business. And they're not looking to be friends with you. They're looking to weasel their way in to get that supply out of you again. So he wants to know if you're doing well, you're not doing well, because he's curious, all right? He's curious to see, if you're missing him, because a narcissist, again, wants to feel that you miss them. So he's going to ask your sister in a roundabout way without coming to you directly. This is why you need to tell your sister to not say 2 words to him with regard to you, all right? She should just not answer the question whatsoever. It's none of his business how you're doing. But you'll find that a lot of narcissists, when they don't reach out to you, they're going to go to your people, your friends, your family, and they're going to try to feel out how you're doing, okay? They would feel horrible if they knew you were doing great or that you moved on with somebody else. So they want to feel better about themselves for the breakup and feel that you're home crying about them, or, he wants information. That's what it is. He wants information without, having to lose his pride by reaching out and contacting her. This way he knows, whether he could hoover her again, or if she's mad still. A lot of times narcissists, when they break up with you, they give you time in hopes that, you're not so angry anymore, and then they hoover you and try you again. So he may have been trying to feel out the situation to see if you were still angry. And if, your sister said something like, "Oh, my sister can't stand you," or "You're a jerk," or something like that, then he knows, okay, not a good idea to hoover her, all right? But if she went back to him and she said something like, "Yeah, my sister's really hurt about the breakup, she keeps talking about you," or something like that, then the narcissist knows that, what? She's vulnerable, and maybe I should try to hoover her back now because she's still missing me, okay? So basically, again, he's asking because he wants information. He wants to know where your head is at, and he wants to do it without directly contacting you, because he might be afraid to contact you, that you may, tell him off or something like that. So that's that. Okay, you guys, I'm moving on to the next question, and here's what she writes. "I did a reverse discard 6 months ago. He tried to hoover me after 2 months of no contact. He's a neighbor, unfortunately. Lesson learned, don't shit where you eat. He has a new girlfriend, and while he never walks his dog, he chose to walk his dog with his new girlfriend in front of my house, then turned around and walked back. He's trying to bait me, but I'm not playing. Do you think his ego is still bruised about the discard? Plus, he exploited her, and she doesn't even realize it unless she's a narc like him, and they both were trying to get a reaction. Thank you, Yaz, for helping me learn about the game. Well, yeah, I think his ego is still bruised a little bit, and he's missing that attention that he got from you. And he was definitely trying to bait you by walking in front of your house. He knows where your house is. He knows you're around, and he wanted you to see him with his new girlfriend because he was hoping for a reaction out of you. Narcissists love to see a reaction out of you, and they love to see their two supplies fight as well. So if you were a combative person and you came out or you said something, nobody loves that more than a narc, having two supplies fighting over them. All right. Now, as far as his girlfriend knowing about you, I'm not sure if his girlfriend knows about you or not. She may have been walking and didn't even realize that was, your house. Most likely, he probably didn't tell her that it was your house. Okay. But the thing is, he was definitely trying to bait you. He was trying to throw it in your face that, okay, you left me, but now I have somebody new. He wanted you to know that he's got somebody new. And this is what narcissists love to do. This is why when you break up with them, they're constantly posting their new supply because they wanted to get back to you that, the problem was you. Look at me. I'm in a new relationship and I'm doing great. Okay. So, yeah, when you do a reverse discard, you definitely bruise the narcissist because, you're pretty much closing the door on them and you're no longer accessible to the narcissist because you let them go because you say to yourself, you know what? You're not showing me anything. You're not showing me that you care or anything. So what he's doing by walking in front of your house is like kind of showing you like, oh, look at me. I've moved on. I don't need you. Okay. And he's flaunting it in front of you. And you did the right thing by not, reacting. The worst thing you could do is react to a narcissist because this is what they want. They want to upset you. They want to trigger you. They want to know that you care. So the way that you destroy a narcissist is to show them that you couldn't care less whether he trots in front of your house or not. But yeah, you picked up on the right vibes. If you do run into him and you do run into him and his girlfriend, you make like they're two strangers on the street, no reaction whatsoever. Okay? Okay, you guys, I'm moving on to the next question. And they write, hi, Yaz. Thank you for your podcast. I know narcissists constantly text, call. Is it just the main supply that is bombarded with the constant contact, or do they do this to all of their supply? Also, what happens when you set strict boundaries with them and don't respond as much? I imagine they try harder, but do they realize there's not much supply and give up? Thank you. Okay, here's what it is, you guys. He wants to know, is it just the main supply that is bombarded with constant contact? Not necessarily. The main supply, is going to get the majority of the constant contact. But when that narcissist has periods of, idleness or they're bored, maybe they're at work or the main supply is not available, then they're going to be contacting their backup supply. So it really depends on the main supply. If the main supply is not readily accessible or they're not available a lot, then they're going to show more attention to the other supply that is around, okay? So it depends on the main supply. They're going to bombard the main supply, but again, if the main supply is busy or, not so readily available, then they bombard all of their supply. So whenever they're down, all right, whenever they have downtime and they've already hit the main supply, they hit up first. Once they're done hitting up the main supply, then they hit up all their backup supplies. And if the main supply is not, giving them the same amount of attention that they like, then they revert to their backup supplies, and then they're giving their backup supplies a lot of texts and calls because their main supply is not that readily available. Now, the other thing, what happens when you set strict boundaries with them and don't respond as much? Well, again, it depends on what's going on in the narcissist's life. When you set up boundaries and the narcissist doesn't need you and they can get the same supply from you or better from somebody else, your boundaries don't mean anything. And when you don't give the narcissist the attention that you used to give them, they won't care if they could get that supply from somebody else. But if they don't have that other supply and they need you, then yeah, they're going to care. And that's when they start coming back at you and being warmer. Now they're trying to reel you back in. They're trying to hoover you back in with that love bombing again. Why? Because they need you. So when they need you, they're going to care when you pull back or you put boundaries on them. But when they don't need you, they won't care about your boundaries. They'll just go to another supply. So you guys, that's how that works. And he wanted also to know, will they try harder? They'll try harder, okay, when you pull back or you set boundaries up, if the narcissist needs you, all right? Also, he had another question where he said, does the narcissist get worse? I don't mean temporarily if a big life event happens, like death of a spouse, divorce, main supply cutting them off that they've had for years. I know narcs get worse with age, but do these triggers make the illness permanently worse? And the answer is yes. When a narc is not doing well, okay, let's say, for instance, they go through a divorce. Nobody's more wicked than a narcissist that's going through a divorce. Why is that? Because they've got to deal now with restrictions. They've got to pay out to attorneys. They've got to deal with visitation of children or child support. So, yeah, they're not going to be happy about that, and they're going to get bitter. They're going to get wicked. And who's ever around them is going to have the wrath of whatever the narcissist is going through. So when a narcissist is going through tough times, they're going to project all their anger on whoever is the person closest to them. That's why a lot of times narcs could come home from work, maybe they had a bad day at work, and who's going to get the brunt of that? Their partner. And they say to themselves, well, why are they so angry and everything like that? They have to take it out on somebody. Somebody has to take the beating for whatever the narcissist is going through. So when they're feeling lousy about something, which could be like a major life event, like a death of a spouse, a divorce, maybe the main supply is cutting them off, or anything like that, they're going to be unhappy about it, and they're going to take it out on who's ever there, okay? They're going to be very, very angry. That's why a lot of times the new supply gets the brunt of whatever anger the narcissist has for their exes. They're going to feel maybe a sense of guilt because if it was a broken marriage or something, and they may fight with the new supply over nothing, and it's all because they're pissed off about their exes. They may tell their new supply, oh, it's something else. Why did you leave that cup in the sink, or why did you take out the garbage? But it's not necessarily about that. It's about the fact that they're pissed off about whatever they went through, maybe like a wicked divorce with somebody, and they're going to take it out on who's ever around them. So yeah, they get more angry, they get more bitter, and they look for a target to take it out on somebody. That's why when you remove yourself from the narcissist's life, now the narcissist has to find a new target to, beat on, in a sense. Like they have to, put down somebody else. Somebody else is going to pay for any kind of pain that narcissist goes through. So when they have main life events happen in their life, a death, a divorce, anything negative in their life, they're going to become angrier, bitter, and the wrath of that narcissist is going to be wicked, okay? That's why I say, they say, is there ever a good time to confront a narcissist? And there is a good time to confront a narcissist when they're doing well or they're happy. When things are going well for the narcissist, that's the time that you want to hit them with anything that, is a sensitive topic, because they might be more likely to be able to sit down and talk to you when they're happy or things are going well for them. But when things aren't going well, you never want to ever broach a topic with a narcissist, because they will pop off and start if it's an overt narcissist, they'll yell and scream. If it's a covert narcissist, they'll go into a silent routine. So yeah, the thing is this, you guys, they do get worse when they have a major life event, and it's going to affect them negatively. They're going to be more angry, more bitter, and they're going to project all of that onto whoever's around them. Okay, you guys, I'm moving on to the next question, and they write, "Hello, I love your videos. Thank you. Unfortunately, my family are narcissists. I have done no contact now for 20 years, but they still try to get other people involved to hoover me back in. Why are these people getting involved when deep down they know my narcissistic family are abusive? Thank you and keep up the good work." Thanks very much. And here's what I have to say to this. The narcissistic family is using other people to try to hoover you back in. These other people probably don't see your family as abusive or narcissistic. And why is that? Because your family is manipulating these outside people. They're trying to make these outside people feel like they are the victims. So they're not giving them the full story of really what went down between you and the family. So they're getting involved because the narcissistic family is trying to make they're so empathetic to you, they miss you, you're the one who walked away, and they really want to smooth things over, and they are the victims. So these outside people that are getting involved in trying to mend the fence between you and your family are probably manipulated by your narcissistic family, thinking that, they're such nice, genuine people, and they just want everybody to be back together again. And, can't we just smooth this over? They're getting involved because they think like your narcissistic family is really concerned about you. That's how the narcissistic family is trying to portray it, that they're really concerned about you, and that, you may have mental issues and they want you to come back in. Either that or, they're doing a favor to the narcissistic family because they need that narcissistic family for something. So they offer to do a favor by trying to be the middleman or woman to try to bring you back in. But in any event, that person that is trying to get you back with your family, most likely they don't see your narcissistic family as being toxic, okay? Because the narcissistic family is painting a completely different picture of what went down between you and them. So they're trying to make it like, maybe it wasn't a big deal and you kind of flew off the handle, but they really want to try to make it work out with you. They're playing the victim to these outside people, and so now these outside people are trying to mend something when in fact they don't realize that the narcissistic family was very, very toxic to you. Or like I said, the other reason they could be getting involved is because they're doing it as a favor to the narcissistic family because they need them for something, all right? And that's why they're getting involved in that. Okay, you guys, I'm moving on to the next question. And she writes, "Hello, why does my narcissist ex block me every time he gets mad? Whenever he's no longer mad, he unblocks me and texts me. I'm currently pregnant. He comes and goes. Any advice?" My advice is to not deal with somebody like that. The bottom line is you're pregnant. He knows he has you. See, a lot of people, once they get pregnant, the narcissist, all of a sudden, they know they have you. You're not going anywhere. Most of the time, it's harder once you're pregnant to just get up and walk out on somebody. So he feels he's got you locked in. And most likely, the reason he's blocking you is because he probably has another supply out there. And then when he's done with the other supply, he's unblocking you and he's texting you, all right? Go listen to my podcast on why a narcissist blocks and unblocks you. But the thing is this, the bottom line is you have to set up boundaries and you have to tell him, you block me again, I can't be in a relationship with somebody who just keeps blocking me. You block me again, I'm not going to deal with you any longer, okay? That's mad disrespect. And he may be just using an excuse to be angry, all right? This is what narcissists do. They fight with you in order to see the other supply. So he's getting mad at you. Look at the reasons he's getting mad at you. Probably they're like little petty reasons and stupid things that he's saying to get mad at you in order to block you. And that gives him a reason to go see another supply. He's got you in his pocket. He feels like you're not going anywhere. So the bottom line is you're either going to be treated like that, or you're going to set up a boundary and you're going to let him know that if he does that again, that you will leave, that you're not going to put up with somebody who ghosts you and disappears on you and blocks you, all right? Why do they block? They block so that when they're with the other supply, you're not calling and texting, all right? But they use the excuse that they're mad at you in order to do that. So this guy, he's no good, and you have to, you got to put his back against the wall. There's a baby involved here, and you have to put up that boundary. And if he doesn't respect your boundary, then you have to rethink whether you can be in that relationship, because if the more abuse you take, the more you're going to take. So it's all what you can and can't live with. And you have to let him know that if you keep doing this, I am not going to be here. And you have to follow through. Because if you don't follow through, then he knows you're not serious. And he'll feel he could just keep walking all over you. Okay, you guys, I'm going to do the last question. And he writes, I want to know, can a non-narcissist woman discard someone 3 times in 2 years now, on the 4th discard, and left unfinished business? Well, not normally, all right? If somebody's discarding someone and they're doing it 3 times in 2 years, most likely you're dealing with a narcissist. And why is that? Because, they didn't give you closure. They just discarded you. A lot of covert narcissists will just discard you cold like that. And why is that? Because they have a secret life going on. Normal people don't just discard somebody. They'll usually say something to the person like, listen, things aren't working out. Maybe you and I aren't for each other. There'll be a reason for the breakup. But a narcissist will discard you coldly and not tell you what's going on, and they'll have no empathy for you. And that's how you're going to know you're dealing with a narcissist, because there's no empathy, there's no respect involved. They just discard you coldly, and they don't even give you a reason half the time, okay? It's because they were doing things behind your back. They had no empathy for you. Now remember, the main character trait of somebody who could be narcissistic is somebody who has no empathy. So if somebody could just discard you coldly and there's no blatant reason for the breakup and they can't be transparent about the breakup, 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with a narcissist. So yeah, in my opinion, I definitely think that you were dealing with a narcissist, because she discarded 3 times in 2 years. And now she's on the 4th discard, and she left unfinished business. If she left unfinished business, it means she doesn't care, because she has something else going on. She's not concerned with your feelings. And why would you even keep somebody like that around in your life that's playing mind games with you? You don't. A person who is a non-narcissistic person, when you break up with them, it's just a breakup. You realize, hey, I don't like what you're doing, or maybe we're not compatible, but you know where you stand. But when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, you never know where you stand, because they're not open and honest and transparent. They're doing things that you don't know about. They're a basic liar, and they're not really telling you what they're thinking, feeling, or doing. That's your covert narcissist. And when you feel like that, like this person is discarding you and you don't even know why they discarded you, or why they discarded you 3 or 4 times in 2 years, then yeah, you're 9 times out of 10, you are dealing with a narcissistic woman there, okay? And, the bottom line is, if somebody could just discard you like that, they don't care about you. okay? So this person is going to waste your time. They're going to bounce in and out of your life, and it's up to you to put a stop to it. It's up to you to put a stop to it because they're not respecting you and they're doing whatever they want and you're allowing them to come back into your life. Stop allowing somebody who has disregard for you to be able to keep popping into your life. When they go and they say, I don't want to be with you, then goodbye, good luck. It's a wrap, okay? Because it doesn't get better after that. When they come back, your worth is going to be even less because now they view you as desperate. You couldn't move on. They feel they have the upper hand and they're going to treat you twice as badly, all right? So, yeah, I think you're dealing with a narcissistic woman there. I don't think she's a non-narcissist, okay? So I hope that helps you guys. And if it does, please hit the subscribe button. Please share the podcast. If you want more information, more videos, more things on the narcissist, the discard, the reverse discard, the triangulation, you know, all of these kind of things that you deal with, the no contact, then go to my YouTube channel at the Game Exposed Podcast, where I have over 4,000 videos. I have a lot of videos on there talking about all different things that narcissists do, okay? And will they come back? And when do they come back? And how the covert narcissist operates. So go to the Game Exposed Podcast on YouTube. And if you want more posts, go to my Instagram at thegameexp123 for more posts about narcissism. And have a great day, you guys. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship, and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at the Game EXP123, and also on Instagram, the Game EXP123. Okay? And have a great day.